Lewis Hamilton's SF25 is about to receive one of the most important upgrades of the 2025 Formula One season. After many races filled with frustration, poor performance and confusing handling, Ferrari is finally bringing a major update that could completely change how Hamilton's car behaves on the track. The new upgrade, which will be introduced at the Imola Grand Prix, has been carefully developed by Ferrari's engineers after weeks of reviewing data, comparing stints, analyzing footage, and going through every bit of information they had from past races. This isn't just a small adjustment to the car. It is a full response to the deep and specific problems that Hamilton has faced since the start of the season. From the moment Hamilton stepped into the SF25, things just didn't feel right. Despite all the excitement about his move to Ferrari, the results have been far from what was expected. Instead of fighting for wins and podiums, Hamilton has found himself struggling in the midfield, battling with a car that refuses to respond to his inputs. It has been unpredictable during braking, unstable through corners, and extremely harsh on its tires. At times it almost looked like Hamilton was fighting the car rather than driving it, and for someone with 7 world championships and over a decade of experience at the highest level, that kind of struggle says a lot. The problems have become more visible with each race. His radio messages are filled with concern and disappointment. His post-race interviews have shown a quiet frustration that has been building over time. In qualifying sessions, he has been unable to push the car with confidence. And during the races, he's often left trying to just survive rather than compete. After a poor performance in Miami, where he lost over 0.3 of a second to Verstappen in the first sector alone, it became clear that something had to change. Hamilton was losing almost a full second per lap to Oscar Piastri, not because of talent, but because the car simply wouldn't cooperate. It twitched under braking, slipped in the middle of corners, and the rear tires overheated quickly, leaving him with no grip. This wasn't a normal performance issue. It was a car that clearly didn't match the driver's needs. Ferrari knows the stakes. They know that if this situation continues, the season could slip away completely. That's why they've been working non-stop at their factory in Maranello, trying to understand every detail of the car's behavior. What they found is that there are 3 major areas where the SF25 has failed Hamilton: stability, tire management, and low-speed grip. These 3 factors have been hurting him in nearly every session, on every track. And now, Ferrari believes they have the solution, an upgrade package specifically designed to address these issues. At Imola, Ferrari will bring a new floor design to rebalance the airflow beneath the car. This should help with overall grip and stability, especially through medium and high-speed corners. Along with that, the team is introducing a change to the rear suspension geometry. This will help control the car better under acceleration and reduce the snappy oversteer that Hamilton has been dealing with. Another part of the upgrade includes changes to the car's cooling systems, which will help manage rear tire temperatures more effectively. When tires stay cooler, they last longer and perform more consistently. All these changes might seem small on paper, but they are targeted directly at the areas where Hamilton has been struggling the most. What makes this upgrade even more significant is that it's the first time this season Ferrari has built something specifically around Hamilton's driving style. Until now, most development has been based on general improvements or feedback from both drivers combined. But this time, the team has used Hamilton's telemetry, his radio comments, his feedback from debriefs, and even onboard footage to create an update package that suits him. They know that if Hamilton can trust the car again, if he can push without fear of the rear end snapping out, then he can return to the kind of performance that made him one of the greatest drivers in history. Fred Vasseur, Ferrari's team boss, has tried to keep public expectations low. He has called the update a small step in the press, but inside the team, everyone knows this is much more than that. The pressure is high, and the need for a breakthrough is urgent. This is not just about scoring more points. It's about proving that Ferrari can deliver the kind of machinery a top-tier driver like Hamilton requires. If they get this wrong, the questions about Ferrari's future, about their technical direction, and about their leadership will become even louder. The timing of this upgrade is also important. Imola is followed by two other important races, Monaco and Barcelona. Monaco, with its narrow streets and tight corners, is one of the most demanding tracks when it comes to traction and car control. If the SF25's upgrades help Hamilton manage low-speed corners better and provide more predictability, Monaco will be the perfect place to prove it. And then comes Barcelona, where many teams will bring big upgrades of their own, and where the pecking order could shift significantly due to new rules around front-wing flexibility. If Ferrari wants to stay in the fight this season, the momentum needs to begin at Imola. From a psychological point of view, this update might be even more important than the technical improvements. Hamilton is someone who needs to feel like he's part of a winning project. He left Mercedes and joined Ferrari because he believed in their vision, their commitment, and their potential. But so far, the reality has been disappointing. His frustration after Miami was clear, and while he remained polite and professional in interviews, the doubt could be heard in his voice. He needs a reason to believe again. Even if the upgrade only improves the car by a few tenths per lap, if it makes the car feel more alive, more responsive, and more predictable, that could be enough to bring back his confidence. And with a confident Hamilton, anything is possible. The way Ferrari has developed this upgrade also shows a shift in their approach. In past seasons, they were often criticized for slow reactions, vague development plans, and poor coordination between departments. But this time they've acted quickly. The analysis started right after the race in Shanghai, and the team went through every bit of data they had. Engineers worked around the clock to find specific solutions, not just general improvements. That's why this package includes parts like the reworked floor, changes to the rear suspension, and cooling adjustments. These aren't just updates for the sake of updates. They are tools built to solve Hamilton's exact problems. This could be the turning point in Ferrari's season. If the SF25 becomes easier to drive, especially under braking and during corner exit, Hamilton can start pushing the car harder. If the rear tires stay cooler, he can race more aggressively without worrying about losing grip. And if the car starts responding to his inputs the way he expects, then we could see a very different Lewis Hamilton on the track. Not only fighting for points, but potentially fighting for podiums. And who knows, maybe even wins later in the season. But if the upgrade doesn't deliver, the consequences could be severe. Another disappointing race will raise more questions. Why did Ferrari wait so long to act? Are they truly building the car around their drivers? Can they keep up with McLaren, Mercedes, and Red Bull, who are already showing strong pace and consistency? These are questions Ferrari would rather avoid, and that's why this weekend matters so much. What also makes this weekend important is how it might shape the rest of the 2025 season. The next few races form a crucial stretch. After Imola, teams will enter the European leg of the calendar, with several back-to-back races on a mix of circuits. If Ferrari can find a working base with this upgrade, they can continue improving it for Monaco and Barcelona. But if the base is still flawed, then they risk wasting valuable development time on the wrong concept. And time is something they no longer have. There's also the matter of team morale. The engineers, mechanics, and strategists are all under pressure. They've seen the headlines, heard the criticism, and watched their car struggle despite their efforts. An improvement at Imola would lift everyone's spirits. It would show that the work they're doing is paying off, that the team can improve. Together, learn from mistakes and grow stronger. It's not just about one driver or one car. It's about building belief inside the entire team. And for Hamilton, this is a personal challenge as well. People are already questioning whether